Looks delicious.
Oh, doesn't it though? Alrighty.
Hey, you haven't cooked in a while.
I haven't, and it's good to be back in the kitchen.
Oh, I guess this was Memorial Day, so you haven't really cooked since then.
No, and I was out of town, and
yeah,
it's been crazy.
Yeah.
And I found for you tonight, I'm going to cook you a soup. And I like soup, and it's sort of summertime here, and we don't normally do it, but I found this recipe, and I just really thought, oh, that's got to be really good.
And this kind of soup is a soup I've always wanted you to make.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mushroom soup.
Mushroom soup is really what it is, with some chicken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It
You're gonna
is.
like this.
I'm excited about it.
You know what? It's been fun today. We're recording this, and my daughter from our tribe of many, Sarah, just put up a video today of our oldest grandchild's engagement.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of mind-boggling, you know, because I remember when he was born, Judah.
Yep, it's the first one.
Oh my God, the first one. And it occurred to me, I was with some friends down in Mexico City this weekend doing a wedding, and I was telling my friend whose daughter got married, I says, man, and he only has one child, one daughter, and I said, man, Luis, this now makes the potential of you becoming a grandfather.
Yeah, what do you think?
And he looked at me like sort of funny because he hadn't really thought about it. And I says, and then I told him about Judah and Katie getting engaged. And he says, well, this makes you have the potential of being a great grandfather.
I know.
And then I got really mad at him. So
I know.
anyhow.
It just keeps going.
It does. Life keeps going, doesn't it though?
Yeah.
And you can't escape it. And so you're happy for kids and grandkids, and one day, hey, wouldn't that be neat if we lived long enough to see a great-grandchild get married?
You know, it would be neat to see a great-grandchild, but I don't know if I want to live that long.
Oh, I do. I want to live for a great.
I don't know.
I'll live as long as the good Lord gives me. I really will.
If
and
I'm
I'll enjoy
not
every minute.
here, if I'm not here, I'm going to be watching.
Yes, you watch.
For sure.
You won't even be thinking about us. You'll be so happy.
Yeah, right.
So, let me tell you what we've got going. This is what Susan likes the best are the mushrooms. In here, well, here I kept a few out for you to show you. I've got 4 different types. I've got the button or the white mushroom. I've got a oyster type mushroom. I had somewhere. Oh, here it is. A shiitake mushroom, and I've got a baby bell. And so it's sort of a combination, and about 10 ounces of mushrooms cut up, and they're great. I'm going to add some corn. I found some corn on the cob left over from Memorial Day in the fridge, and the recipe doesn't call for this, but I like it, and it'll be good in the soup a little bit later on. So I cut it off the cob, and we'll have that in there. This uses quite a bit of parsley. It uses some thyme, about 3 large cloves of shallot, of course, some extra virgin olive oil, a little Who's Your Sister sauce, a little bit of white wine, dry white wine to cook, about a tablespoon of flour. We're going to put that together. Some garlic, 3 large cloves of garlic. And honestly, that's just about it.
The biggest ingredient, heavy cream.
Oh, and heavy cream, yeah, it's in the fridge still. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And that's going to take a cup of heavy cream too. Yeah. So have that on hand. So I'm just patting these dry, just got them out of the fridge.
The only reason I know is because I had to do the grocery shopping.
You did the shopping for this while I was gone. Right. They missed you at that wedding.
I missed
really
being
beautiful.
there.
Yeah. I was only in Mexico for 33 hours. So what I'm going to do with these chicken breasts after I've patted them dry, I'm just going to salt them on both sides. And I get pretty liberal with the salt. I like it. And by the way, for this recipe, just know this, I use Diamond Crystal kosher salt. And if you're using Morton salt, which is a little bit saltier, I suppose, then you need, if you can say it that way, then you need to use a little less salt when we add salt in this recipe. And I'll be adding, according to Diamond Crystal, I'll try to remember to tell you to back off if you're using Morton kosher, but I cook everything with Diamond Crystal. Used it for years. There we go. And I'm going to just set those to the side because we're going to cook those in a few moments and come back to those. Now, in the meantime, I've got my Dutch oven on my burner here, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin here. We're going to do the mushrooms first and get those really done well, because they're really the centerpiece. The chicken isn't. They're the centerpiece of this recipe, and I'm going to let that oil come up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook those for about 5-7 minutes, and they'll get soft. And then I'm going to salt them, and then we're going to cook them an additional 5-7, maybe 9 minutes to get them a little charred. We want a little bit of texture on them, and then we're going to take them out and we'll set them aside. So once this comes up to speed, I'll start doing that. In the meantime, what I need to do is get my things prepped, and that includes both the shallot, the garlic, and the thyme. And I need about a tablespoon of chopped thyme. So I'm using fresh here. If you're using dried, you really only need about like 1, maybe 1.5 teaspoons. I'm going to use the fresh, and I just, as you well know, I like it so much better for the taste and everything. And actually, I think that is up here to speed, so let's add those. Yeah, they're great. Just want to get them a little coated and let them go ahead and cook down for about 5 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to pull this together, and then I'll show you how we begin to add all this together. Okay, I salted my mushrooms, giving them another about 5 minutes, maybe 7.
Well, they smell good.
They're smelling so good, and I got my thyme all chopped up here, and you need, like I said, with fresh, you need about a tablespoon. If you're using dry, do 1.5 teaspoons. And I just love fresh, and the smell of the thyme, I just really like it. I really like it. Thank you for doing that, hon. Appreciate it.
Did it make you want to be in Kenya when you saw all that?
It did a little bit. I have to admit, it really, really did. Yeah. And I thought, oh, that'd be fun. You know, I'm glad they all went, and I'm glad Luke and Jill were able to go too, and his kids, and see everything.
Yeah, those videos are coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool for them. It really is. But yeah, that day I would have liked to have been there with that family to see. But I'm so glad, because most of that family of solos won't be able to come to America probably whenever the wedding is, and so it made it special connection with that family, which I think is so important. So that's
and they miss
really
out
cool.
on so
They
much.
do,
of
and I
what
feel so
happens
bad
with
about that.
family.
And it's just part of life, unfortunately. Like many of you, can't always be with all your family like you'd want it to be during special occasions or holidays or whatever. And so it makes it important. It really does.
Yeah.
By the way, I've got a lot of chopping of these shallots to do, and they're really pungent. My nose is running a little.
Oh, they're so strong.
But I grabbed my chopper. I think we've had this we've been married 50 years. I think we've had these 45. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I love that thing. Does everything we need to have done. So.
I know, and I don't remember where I got it. It was at some kitchen party.
Oh, this is really looking good. Okay, we're going to give it another couple minutes, then I'm going to show you what we do for the rest here. Okay, they are getting the nice little crust on them. They're really looking good. You know what? I'm going to give it another minute, Sue. Yeah, a little bit more. Just a little bit. Some of them have a nice crust, but a few more need it. That's going to be great. In the meantime, I got my shallots chopped up, garlic sliced, and I even got my thyme already. And then the only other thing I've got to get done is my parsley. And I got off the garden some fresh parsley. And that's sort of what makes this really, really good when you get all that going. So let's pull these out. Oh yeah, oh my goodness. You can almost taste this too. I had one of the courses at the wedding reception. They had a cream of asparagus soup, Sue. And oh my goodness, I could have made a meal out of that actually. It was so good. All right, let's add in here another tablespoon, still the same fire, everything's going along great. Another tablespoon of olive oil, and we're gonna let that come up to speed, and then we're going to add in the shallots and the garlic, and we're gonna let that cook really good. And it seems like a lot of onion, but it's gonna be good. And that'll all cook down really nicely. And actually what we're gonna do too is we're going to add to that, while that's cooking, some salt. Just like that, a little bit right there. Great. And then get that around. All right, I've been having my onions and garlic cook in that pot in the oil for about 4 minutes, 3.5, 4 minutes. Got some bits on the bottom. That's fine, that's perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to add our thyme, and we're going to add the 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour to this mixture. And we're just going to stir that and cook that for about 1 minute. You get the flour cooking away, you know, the flour taste cooked out is what you're doing here. Again, for about 1 minute I want that. And then you want to take 1 cup of the wine. I'm going to pull that together here, and we're going to put that in there, and we're going to bring this to a nice simmer. And when you get the wine put in there, whoo, I'm almost out. You want to scrape up all those bits down on the bottom and stir that around. This is going to make a nice little roux of sorts. I don't think you call it that, but it's a nice little mixture here. And it's going to thicken up a little bit as you see it doing, and that's fine. That's what you sort of want. And again, I'm scraping all those beautiful bits off the bottom. I love that. Just like that. And Susan, you were just asking about the chicken, and I'm telling you that's going to come next. Oh, look at that. So for about a minute, let that simmer. I'm actually going to let this go for about 5 minutes. I was wrong. I said 1 minute, but you want the wine to reduce some. And it's doing that exactly. Oh man, it smells wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of good smells.
Yeah, I just love it. And I love how fresh everything is. That to me is just the biggest deal. I just love that. Very nice. Now what we're going to do here in just a moment is we're going to add back in about half of the mushrooms. Not all of them, but half of what we've cooked up. We're going to add the chicken breast to this mixture, just whole, not slicing them or anything right now. And then we're going to add in 5 cups of water. We're going to bring that whole mixture to a boil, and then the minute it does, we're going to take it off the heat, we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to let it set for 15 minutes. And that should get the chicken cooked. Whoa, nice and tender. They're kind of thick. So if we have to go a little longer, we will.
Yeah.
Not a problem. All right. So there it is. It's thickened like I want it. I'm going to put in about half the mushrooms. About right like that. I'm going to season with a little bit more salt. And then I'm going to take my chickens and I'm going to lay them in there.
Chickens.
My chicken breast. Boneless, skinless. 2 breasts. There we go. We're going to put those in there. And then I'm going to add 5 cups, I've got it already measured, of water. Now what I want to do is I want to turn this up and I want to bring this to a rapid boil. And so we're going to let that sit for a second. It'll come to a boil. The minute it does in that water, everything, we're going to cover it, and then we're going to, I'll bring it off, put it on here, and we'll let that sit for about 15 minutes until it's cooked through, the chicken is. And I'll do that by just measuring the temperature, about 165. And then we'll pull the chicken out. We're going to take a couple of forks, we'll shred it. We'll then add everything back in along with some parsley and some oil mixture that I'm going to show you how to do here in a second while this is cooking. I need about 3 tablespoons of parsley chopped, and we're going to get that done. We'll add the cream and we'll be ready to eat. And the only other thing that I suggest is get yourself some good bread. I'm going to use some sourdough bread. I'm going to toast it up for us in the broiler, and we're going to have that as a side, and that is going to be our dinner for tonight. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Yeah, it is. It smells outstanding.
Yeah.
But I got to get this boiling here. In fact, I start seeing things happening even as we speak down in there. So that's pretty cool. It's fun how things always come together.
Yeah.
Okay, as you can see now, that's sort of rapidly boiling. And I really just got to thinking about it. I don't need to pull it off of this. I just got to turn the induction plate off because that thing cools right down pretty quickly. So we're just going to put the lid on top of this, and we're going to turn that off. And then in the meantime, while that's doing that, in a small bowl, I'm going to chop up 3 tablespoons of parsley. That's what we've got here, basically. And I'm really doing a rough chop. I'm not putting it in the chopper. I really don't want it real thin of a chop, or small of a chop, I should say, but that's about right. And to that, find my good thing here. With my parsley in there, I'm going to actually add some grated garlic, 2 cloves, 2 large cloves, a 1/4 cup of olive oil goes in there, and a good amount of salt and pepper. And then we're just going to stir this up. And this mixture, part of this mixture, is going to go in to the soup when I add the cream and the Worcestershire sauce in just a few minutes, and add what do you call the chicken breast when I dice? I'm not dicing them. I'm going to tear them apart. You know what?
Shred.
Oh, thank you. Good Lord, why couldn't I think of that?
I don't know.
Part of it's going to go in then, and then the other part will go in when the soup is totally done.
When you can't, I can. When you can't think of it,
you can.
I can.
And then
when I can't,
yes, and
you
then
can.
Well, that comes from having lived together for 50 years.
All right.
And in addition, comes from getting older.
Exactly. That's where the can't comes
yes,
in.
I know it.
The can is just a miracle every time.
The question is, who does the can't more often than the can?
Oh no, we're not
Let's
keeping
talk
track.
about that.
We're not
I keep big track on that. Yeah.
We're not keeping track.
So anyhow, I forgot to set the timer, but I got another about 13 minutes here. So let me Alexa, set a timer for 13 minutes. And then we're going to come back.
Starting now.
Oh, thank you. We're going to come back. We're going to check the temperature, make sure it's cooked all the way through. And that's all we want. And then we're going to put this all together, and you are going to love it. Oh, I can't forget, Sue, don't let me, to put the corn in there.
No, that's
too,
why I
a little
put
bit
it
later.
over there.
Yeah, okay, great.
See, I can.
Yeah, right. Here we go. Okay, I got it. Yeah, got it out. Everything turned out good. I went about 18 minutes.
It's not showing very good. I can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
We trust you're shedding it right. Shredding it.
I'm not shredding it, but I'm shredding it. And that's all gonna go back in there when I get that all shredded. Can't wait to sink my teeth into this soup. And we're going to actually cook it another 4 minutes or so to get everything heated once I put the cream in, you know. All right, chicken is done. I got it all shredded. And we're just going to put that back in to the pot. By the way, this is supposed to serve 4 people. It probably will.
Oh, definitely.
It is so good. I should tore it a little bit, but I should shred it by hand. It's just as easy.
Did you happen to see how many pounds of chicken that was?
No, I didn't.
I didn't
have to
either.
look on the package, but those were big chicken breasts.
They were.
I'm going to add, now, by the way, this thing would be a keto meal if you didn't have this, but I'm going to add that because
But you could add a different vegetable.
You could, oh yeah, I thought about putting broccoli,
or-
some spinach in here. Put
Kale.
in there, yeah. And then we're going to add this, and that's the cup of cream. That's what really makes it good. And we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of Who's Your Sister sauce. Right about like that. Everybody's going to get happy. And I do want to add a little bit of pepper here.
You don't bring this to a boil.
Nope, you don't, but you are going to heat it up. And we're going to get that so that it all sort of blends together. And we'll go for about 4 or 5 minutes just like this, and then we're ready to go. We're going to ladle this up. The rest of the mushrooms will go on top of each bowl, and the parsley oil mixture will also go in there and at that time, and it will just be sort of fantastically good.
You should taste it.
I don't want to yet. I just want to wait until it's all done. All right. I'll be back in about 4 minutes, folks, and we'll ladle it up, get it ready. All right. This soup is done. And here's how we're going to put it all together.
You're eating something.
I had a piece of the bread. I'm going to take my ladle, grab some soup.
Delicious.
Oh, doesn't it though? And then look at what we're going to do. We're going to add to it a little bit of the fresh mushrooms on top. Not the fresh, but the leftover. And we're going to add some of that parsley oil as well. Couple of pieces of the toast, and that, folks, is the evening meal. If that doesn't look good, I don't know what is. And I tell you what, I just tasted it. It tastes as good as it looks. As I was waiting for it to come up to heat, I thought you could even actually add maybe like a sun-dried tomato in there a little bit, you know, just something to give it a little difference. But I just really like this combination. I really do.
Yeah, it looks really
It looks
good.
really good, and the flavors are just off the charts.
Well, I want to taste the soup.
Well, I'll let you do that. Hang on just a second. That will serve up to company any day of the week, right like that.
Okey-doke. I just want to taste this one.
Isn't that
Ooh,
good?
that is really different.
Isn't that different and good?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
You get the mushroom all through it, and then you get the chicken, and that is so good.
I'm telling you.
Wonderful.
Anyhow, ready to eat?
Yep.
All right, there it is, folks. Make it, try it, and I guarantee you'll love it. I really do.
Yeah.
And it was quick and easy. It really was.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
If I did it over again, I would have cut those horizontal breasts because it needed to cook just a little bit longer, make them a little softer, and they were really thick breast. Cut them horizontally, put them in that way. They would have cooked a little quicker. But other than that,
You need to make these things a second time, then they'd be absolutely
I know,
perfect. There you go. It's another reason to make it a second time.
All right, let's go.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Good.
Enjoy.